Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Becky and this is Brea Makes Art, and today we're going to be doing this really cute little wall hanging where I'm going to be using a lot of black on black, and I'm going to be putting a nice little butterfly on there just to bring some color and like a little pop of life to it. I'm going to be using a lot of different mediums. I'm going to be putting a lot of filigree in here, so it's going to be kind of a dark gothic butterfly decoration for my wall. I've already started on this, and I will say that so far very few things have gone right. So go ahead and strap in. This is going to be a bit of a bumpy ride, but hopefully the end product is going to be worth it. Okay, first things first, I need to paint this black, but I don't want to have to repaint any of this, and I wanted to use this black 3.0, which I know is going to look different than this. So I'm going to go ahead and tape the sides off so that I can just paint the bottom here, see how it looks, and see if I need to paint this. I'm hoping I don't, and then we can kind of get into it a little bit more. Doke, I've got this all taped off in here. So now I'm just going to take my black 3.0, I'm just going to blop some on here and spread it around and get this looking really nice and black. So there we go. Okay, so that looks pretty bad for my first coat, but it is a first coat, so I'm going to go ahead and do a second coat on here, and hopefully everything will kind of pull together and look a lot better. Okay, well, I've done 3 coats of paint on here. I think that's enough. I'm going to go ahead and remove, oh man, the tape. It looks like I've got a few spots I've got to touch up still. I've got some white poking through in a few spots. Boo. Are things going as well as I had hoped? No. Am I going to give up? Also, no. I did 3 coats on the bottom here, and it's looking pretty good. You can still see there's splotchiness and shininess. That's because it's not dry yet. I'm hoping that when everything dries, I'm going to get a nice uniform kind of matte black color on the base here, and that's going to work really well with the outside here. Now I need to make the butterfly and try and think about like how I'm going to mount it on there. So I'm hoping that the tracing paper is going to work out really well, because this way I can have like the size of this and kind of put it over top of my drawing of a butterfly, so I can get an idea of kind of how much it overlaps and stuff like that at the bottom. So now I've got this nice little template here that's going to help me be able to figure out how I can make my butterfly so that it kind of pops out. So what I really want is, let me grab another piece of tracing paper, because I think that's going to be a great idea. So now I can kind of get an idea of the size of my butterfly, so I can see this through here. So that's going to be my basic butterfly shape, and then the idea is it will sit bent like so that the wings kind of pop up. Okay, don't have any Bristol board, but I do have this mixed media paper from a upgrade box. I got a little while ago, and this is nice and thick, so I think that's gonna be perfect, and it's a perfect size. This is going to be fantastic. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, well, you guys are kind of close, but I got out my little tracing light box here, so I can put this on here and light this up, and now I should be able to trace my shape through here, and then I will have my butterfly on here, which will allow me to then paint it. So I think the easiest way to color in the butterfly would be using my alcohol markers. However, I want this to be more light fast than the alcohol markers are going to give me. So my next pick would be using the Arrtx acrylic markers that I have. Unfortunately, the Arrtx set that I have is a fairly small set and it doesn't have any good oranges in it. I know I have a number of Posca pens and I have some other acrylic markers, so I'm hoping I've got a good orange that's going to work, because I don't really want to have to pull out my full-on acrylic paints to paint this little butterfly. Let's hope I can find what I need and not have to pull out my full-on acrylic paint, because this project is already much bigger than I anticipated. Huzzah! I did have a number of Posca pens here. Now let's hope that they're not all dried out and ruined, because they've been sitting in the drawer for I don't know how long without being used. So I'm going to go ahead and shake these up and see if they work. Those are pretty good. I'm impressed. It's been years since I've pulled these out and they've just been sitting in the drawer, just laying there like this. I was a little bit surprised that they weren't dried out. So yay, this is going to work. I'm so happy. Yay. I'm going to start off with my black, because there's an awful lot of black on the Monarch butterfly. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use my Sharpie creative marker here in order to put white spots back in here, because that Sharpie creative marker works really well even on top of black, and I think it's going to be much easier than trying to make sure that I'm kind of saving the white spots, because there's a lot of little white spots on a Monarch butterfly. It may not be perfect, but it's going to get the basic idea across, and she's going to look amazing. It's okay if you have more cells on one side than on the other. Okie doke. So there's my basic butterfly. Each one I think is pretty unique. So my dots aren't necessarily going to match any other Monarch's dots, but it's going to be just fine. My basic butterfly. Let's go ahead and start and put a little bit of really light yellow in here, and then I can put some darker yellow in there as it makes sense. Because like I said, I want there to be kind of a little bit of light shining through the wings here. So I'm going to start with this. I know that's probably not exactly the color I want. I'm hoping this is going to give me that kind of feeling of it being a little bit luminescent here. And then I can go into my orange color. Ooh, that's orange. I'm going to come up here. It's been a while since I've used the Poscas. I definitely like the Arrtx better because I like the brush pen. I don't like the little nib here. This would be great if I was going to do like some kind of graffiti style art, or you know, if I was going to straight up be drawing or something like that, it would be great. But for coloring in, it's not that great. It kind of is annoying. I just want to make this orange a little less kind of one solid color orange. I want there to be some variation in the color, so I'm just going to kind of layer some of this yellow on top. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Let's just get some variation going here. Mix some of these paints up. That's nice. I like some of the variation I'm getting here in colors. This is great. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. Love that gradient. Look at that. How pretty. Yay. Let me just go back in and touch up some of my blacks here. Oh. I think this looks so good. I'm so happy. I love it. Now it's time to cut this out. Oh, I am so happy with this. You have no idea. Okay. I think for these next bits, getting an X-Acto knife is going to work better. So let me get cutting mat and X-Acto knife. What even is this project? How many different tools am I going to use on this one little project here? There we go. What do we think? I love her. She looks so good. And she's gonna live. Oh, that's gonna look so good. She's gonna live in there. Alright, I ended up having to put another coat of just like cheap craft paint on top because the black 3.0 was matte in most spots, but there was a few spots that were shiny and it was too much. I'm going to glue this down first, and then I'm going to kind of play with like what I want as additional decoration on here, because this guy's going to go here and he's going to be lifted up just a little bit, and I need to put some other decorations up in the corners here to really make this pop, because I think that right now it's a little bit lacking in composition. So I have some of these cute little flowers that might be fun to put in place. So let's go ahead and pop some of these out and see what they would look like. I don't want to actually pop it down, but like something up there with like that. I don't think so. No. I like that. I'll stick that there. That's cute. Little gem on there. Yeah. I like that. That's cute. Okay, I think I've learned a lesson. The black colorant that I used in there is causing the epoxy or the resin to not set up. I have put this light over top of these guys multiple times, but it's still squishy. Found that I can easily paint the clear resin and it looks just fine. Alrighty, while some of those pieces are drying, I'm going to go ahead and glue this thing down. I'm just going to try using this tacky glue. I'm hoping that this will work just fine to glue everything in place. I think that'll be good enough. And now I do need to get something to lift my butterfly up a little bit. And what I think I'm going to get for that is I've got some pop dots. So this is the product I'm talking about. This is adhesive foam squares. This one is from Ms. Sparkle & Company. I've had this for I don't know how long. You can see a couple of the things came off. I'm going to use these larger squares, so boop. I think I'm going to want another one. I want to get a little bit more height to it. And that ought to give me enough height for my butterfly to be sticking up a little bit. Perfect. Ooh, I like it so much. I'm so happy. I like that the wings are kind of pulled up a little bit. Yay! This is going to be so good. I'm so happy. Okay, now it's time to, I'm going to be kind of fastening each of those little flowers down in the corners. Then we've got all of our little roundy pieces here. I think I'll do it that way. I think that would look good. So just a little bit of glue on these guys because I don't, like I said, I don't want the glue to stick out. Okay, that's that. Then, do I want to put those over there? I'll put them there though, that'd be cute. I think that would be cute. Well, I guess that's where it's going. It stuck itself. As I mentioned at the beginning, this project tested me. There there were lots of things that went wrong. There were a lot of things that went right, but it was so much harder than I had originally anticipated, but I am in love with the results. This is how it looks. I love it. I love how the butterfly just like really pops out. I love the little sparkles in the corners and on the frame here. It just kind of gives it a little something extra. I like that the frame is a little bit shiny and the background is more matte. I am so happy. And even though there are some imperfections in some of the little details, I think that there is enough other stuff going on that you're not going to notice some of those tiny little imperfections. So I am so in love with this. This is 100% getting a spot on my wall back here because it is gorgeous and I am so proud of it. So let me go ahead and give you one last really close look at it. It is so cool. I am so in love with it. Look at all the little sparkles in there and the little bit of light coming through the wings on the moth. It is just, I love the color. Love, love, love. Like the pop of color on that black. I couldn't be happier, honestly. I am so excited about this project. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my pain and suffering for this beautiful project. I did not enjoy the pain and suffering, but I am over the moon about the results. So I can't really complain too much. So anyway, I guess I will see you guys next week. Bye.